Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about stripping wire, and I've picked up this Ideal Stripmaster wire stripper, and we're going to kind of take a look and see how it compares to just your regular old standard wire stripper that you use all the time. I'm kind of leery of dedicated tools for things, but the reviews on this thing are actually really good. This particular one is actually made in the USA, which is always nice to see. So I'll link to this in the description of the video should you guys want to just read the reviews or just check it out for yourselves. What we're going to be using this on today is some 10 gauge wire. We're doing a splice for extending a dryer receptacle further away than it used to be. So we have some larger wires to strip. We're going to do a little bit with this standard old-fashioned one, and then we'll also be using this and just see if there is seemingly any benefit to using this automatic stripper versus this one. For those of you who would like to read the instructions, you can pause the video and do so now. So let's take a quick look at the action and how this thing actually works. You can see right here, as we first close the handles, right here is where it actually clamps down onto the wire. And it looks like that's kind of a spring-loaded tension, so it's not going to squeeze the wire too hard. And then on this side is where you're going to line up the end of your conductor and choose how much you want to strip off by allowing the wire to extend past. And I'll show you that here in just a minute. So once it clamps down onto the insulation on this side, and then closes on the conductor, now it's going to actually begin stripping the wire. And you'll see as I squeeze now, it's going to separate the two halves until the end of that wire has been fully stripped. Now when you release it, it will actually release the wire right away, so you can pull your cable out. And then once you release it a little bit further, it will snap back closed again, just like so, and now we're ready to proceed with our next strip. Here's a scrap of 12 gauge wire that we should be able to demonstrate this with pretty easily. The different gauges are marked right here on the cutters, so we can easily see which size we need to put this in. 12 gauge solid is right there, so we're going to go ahead and clamp it down. So we just choose how much we want to have extended past and how much we want it to be stripped back, and there it is. Perfect. Wow, that was actually surprisingly easy. That was the first time I've used this thing at all. So let's go ahead and strip the other side of it. 12 gauge. The maximum you can strip is 5/8 of an inch, as you guys saw in the instructions. Okay, let's see. So now it keeps holding the wire until I start to release the handles, and then it releases the wire. So there, we have the perfect pigtail created. Oops, I dropped it. Let's do a couple more. So there's one side, and just have to line it up in the right groove. Other side. Wow, that's actually amazingly slick. Wow, that actually is amazingly fun. We'll do this one slower. So we drop it into the 12 gauge slot, squeeze, and there you have it. Ready to go. These are for my ultra short pigtail project I have coming up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm just kidding. You know that already. So that was on 12 gauge. Let's go ahead and try it on this 10 gauge. This is a splice that we're doing for a dryer. What I'll do is I'll start with my regular stripper, and then we will use the other one right after that. So I think I'm going to do 2 with this, and then I'll move to the other style. So I'm going to go about 5/8 is about what I'm looking for. That wasn't bad. But you can see how my hand kind of flicks back every time I strip those back. So that's kind of the downside. Earlier I actually did whack my camera. When you have that happen where you strip the wire back and your hand flicks backwards, if you were around any live circuitry at all, you could accidentally end up jabbing this into something that you shouldn't. All right, here we go. We're gonna go with 10 gauge, solid, right about there. Oh yeah, let's strip that back a little bit further. Wow, that's pretty nice. I honestly did not expect to like this thing. I just thought it was gonna be a little bit gimmicky, but it seems like it kind of holds its own. And the thing is, you know, you really don't need this. This isn't something that you absolutely need. But if you're going to be doing a lot of wire stripping, it might be something that's worth investing in because the hand fatigue is minimal and I don't have my hands flying everywhere every time I'm stripping a wire back. And I'm guessing for like stranded wire, this might even be more beneficial still because it seems like stranded wire you have to work at it a little bit more to get it to pop off of the conductor. So I will link to the ideal Stripmaster in the description of this video, and if you guys want to check that out, the reviews are actually amazing and I'm kind of figuring out why. This thing actually works way better than I expected it to. Overall, I would say that it's something that I wouldn't feel bad about having in my toolbox, that's for sure. If you guys have any thoughts or suggestions about this, make sure you put those in the comment section under this video, whether or not you have one of these or if you've had any issues or how well it's worked for you or hasn't worked for you. I'd be really curious to know your experience. So thanks so much for watching. If you guys want to keep learning with me, click on one of these videos. It's right here on the screen, and we'll see you over there in just a few seconds. And in that amount of time, we've stripped a total of 8 conductors, I believe. So overall, I think it works pretty good. All right, we'll talk to you right over there.